Hey Sagittarius, this is your reading. So overall, I want to clarify quickly that this can also be for those who are in separation, not just for those who inquiring about their ex. It can be also for those in a relationship where they're in separation. You can interpret these cards in another way if you wish. Also, some things may resonate with you, and you may feel that some things may not resonate with you. And for some of you, I'm getting straight away that for some of you, it's that you may need to make a painful choice. So the cards you have here, the Two of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the High Priest, the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. You have three queens, and I notice here you have so two eights. You have eight, so you have 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that was quite interesting. The numbers going in order. And also with this card and with the amount of queens you have here and the Ace of Pentacles, it's highly likely that many of you will be meeting someone new. And with the Knight of Swords here as well. So the Knight of Swords here could be the energy of someone coming. It could be the your ex, or the person who you're in separation with, or it could be your energy, or someone else who's coming into your life, someone new. I feel like especially for women with this card, well, it doesn't have to be that case. It could be just a feminine energy or negative or masculine energy, being spoken about rather than just feminine and masculine. So with the Knight of Wands, again, here's someone coming in really quickly, and it could be if it is the case that there are, because with this card, it means that you have a choice between multiple people. I do tend to see this card as your heart being blocked off, and it could be your heart being blocked off to other people, or your heart being blocked off in terms of your intuition. So maybe your intuition isn't the best at this time. And then this card also means I see this as letting go, walking away from something. So for some of you, it's the case of maybe you need to let go of your connection with the person you're waiting for, or this could actually be is either letting go, moving away, or actually waiting for them. So for some of you, it is that you need to wait, and and with all the sitting cards here, waiting. For some of you, it's that you need to let go and walk away. And I'm seeing that you will be meeting someone new, and whichever choice you make, and you may be seeming quite attractive at this time, especially with the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So I'm feeling energies of like masculine energy and feminine energy. So it doesn't really matter who's watching, because I'm seeing here a representation of the of different genders. So then with the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Cups, it could be, again, with the Two of Swords, it says multiple people come, a choice between multiple people, or a painful choice having to be made. So it could be maybe you have to make a painful choice of maybe letting the connection go, or maybe the painful choice is something else. I'm not sure what your situation is, but there may be the need to make a decision that you may not maybe like too much. So yeah, then with the Queen of, it could be maybe they embody these queens. So someone's more like the Queen of Swords and someone's more like the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands and the Page of Swords also represent fertility. And you have the Ten of Pentacles here. So it could be the case of you having a child with someone. It could be the person you're waiting for, or it could be the new person coming in. And I'm seeing here that whoever this new person is, and with the Pentacles here, the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, whoever you do have a child with, if it and if it is the case, I'm seeing it's likely the case of you having a child with this new person. And if it is that case, it doesn't have to be a child. It could also be start buying a house with them, starting a business with them, or it could be all three. So I am seeing also this called like working hard, because this does mean working hard. I think this also means manifestations of things. So what you work hard for coming to fruition. I'm getting a high sense of waiting. So it's like he's standing and waiting, sitting and waiting, sitting and waiting, but not knowing what's coming. Yeah, but with this Eight of Swords here as well, not knowing what's coming, and it also means someone new coming in unexpectedly, like the Knight of Wands, who comes in really fast, unexpectedly with so much passion. So it could be like maybe for some of you like a kind of one night stand kind of thing with all these wands energy here, the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands, and an unexpected thing here. So it could be like an unexpected child. I'm seeing for some of you, you may have been worrying about, maybe you've been having a lot of, you've been thinking a lot about, like, maybe, because it did, with this card, have saying, like, a negative choice having to be made. It may be a choice that has been worrying you a lot. It may be a choice maybe you know you have to make. I think this card also, yeah, this card also can mean new beginnings. And with this card, I see, don't draw your sword just yet. Just hold it up and get ready. So again, it could be the case of just having to wait. And also with this card, and I think it was this card or this card, I'm seeing here, I saw that you had to be honest about something. So having to be honest with yourself here as well, with the heartbeat. Like, I really get a high sense, although this card does have its own meanings. I do have a really high sense of someone blocking their heart with their cross across, like with their arms crossed, like covering their chest, and with the swords there. I'm seeing it. Someone you may not, someone who doesn't let people in easily. That is the sense I'm getting. I get with that card. It may not be the case for you, and maybe the case for you is the literal interpretation of this card, and the literal interpretation being having to make a decision, and having to choose between multiple people, and again sitting and waiting. So again, with the sitting and waiting, like with painful choices, like fighting against it, holding the swords, getting ready for what's coming. So yeah, with the Queen of Swords, it can represent someone who is divorced or a single mother. So maybe that's what this Ten of Pentacles is representing. Maybe you do enter a relationship with someone who has a child, and through that you become like a step parent with the baby here. And with the High Priest, I'm getting a sense of needing like balance. Like, doesn't have to be like balance in that sense. I'm getting here like divine timing, things happening as they are meant to happen. Because this does make me think of like a spiritual being. It sometimes makes me think of a spiritual being who kind of like makes decisions, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but that is how I see that card sometimes. There is a bit of a time limit with this video because I have like 13 minutes of storage space left. So 13 minutes left before the storage space runs out. So yeah, and with the Queen of Cups, it does represent, I do see it as because it could be again like with these two swords here, and then the two women facing each other, like having to choose between two people. So you being in the middle, having to choose between two people on the side and two people here, and then someone new comes in. So altogether maybe three people. And I'm seeing here the Four of Swords. As usually this represents like this has a positive representation, like dreams coming to fruition and things like that. But with her facial expression and with the way she's holding that sword, I see it as wanting revenge. Wanting revenge, like a woman scorned. And it could be the case that maybe your actions, and it doesn't have to be a woman, but it could be maybe your actions hurt someone for some of you. So yeah, maybe your actions does end up hurting someone, or maybe it is you feeling like this. But I do get a sense of someone else, because in many cases with relationships where there are third parties or more, someone does end up getting seriously hurt. and it can lead to physical damage, in terms of like someone wanting to cause someone else physical pain. I've watched a lot of documentaries where some people go out for revenge and do things they weren't meant to do, like actually using a weapon to hurt someone else. So that, hopefully that isn't the case, but I am getting a sense here of someone feeling really hurt. Not sure who it is, and it could also be instead that you're just surrounded by many women, because there are so many different so many queen cards came up here, so it could be just that you're surrounded by many different women in your life. Maybe you are a single parent, maybe you are divorced. I didn't buy the book that comes with the interpretation for these cards, so I mainly go off my own personal interpretations, or sometimes I do research these cards. You can also look up these cards and find out maybe this, and maybe look up for an interpretation that may suit you more. But this is how I'm interpreting these cards. There was something else I saw, but I can't remember what it is now. I'm trying to remember. But quickly to summarize before the video shuts down, because we're running out of time. So someone unexpected coming. It could also mean like being afraid to move forward. So because that is how I do see this card as well, being afraid to go forward because being blindfolded. So it could be that maybe you're afraid to make that choice with this Two of Swords here. And I like how because this is what I kind of like about tarot, how like cards kind of mesh well together, if that makes sense, with the Two of Swords here, the Eight of Swords here, and then there was the 7, 8, 9, 10 with the cards, and then with like holding a single sword up here as if kind of defending yourself, or like declaring something. I see that as a declaration of something, and this as like, I have mentioned in another reading, I see it as like two women sitting down having a meeting, like rivals, and with this card here as well, like having their sword race, and having the sword race here as well, but in a sense of defending yourself, of like from two people coming. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Although since it is a swords card, that isn't really surprising. But I do like how like the swords are raised. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like it tells a sort of story in a sense. But I'm not sure how to explain it. Like the sword down there and hidden. So it could be someone not really hidden, but not in plain sight as well. So it could be someone with someone who doesn't let their pain show too much. Like they may show it, but how they're feeling isn't as intense as how they're showing it. So there's about 1 minute left to of recording space. So I want to quickly say that so I want to quickly just say that overall, if you should wait for your ex or not, I'm getting the cards are saying here, someone new is coming. You may have to make a choice that's painful. For some of you, it's the case of yes, waiting for your ex. For some of you, it's the case of letting things happen as they are meant to happen with this High Priest. And I just remembered what I really wanted to say. I am seeing it as you may be wanting to make a decision with this Knight of Swords, of Wands, and I know Sagittarius is a fire sign, and Sagittarius is like are quite like this Knight of Wands. So this could be your energy, and Sagittarius is like you may want to move things through things quickly. You may really be itching to make a decision, but you may just have to wait. And before the video shuts down, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.